I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
That's great.
Mr. Accomando?
Present.
Ms. Borelli?
Present.
Ms. Ianello?
Present.
Mr. Laurentino?
Present.
Ms. Mahoney?
Here.
Mr. Shear?
Here.
Ms. Torbic?
Present.
Ms. Traverso?
Here.
Ms. Zottarelli?
Present. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That was the best flag salute ever. You don't even...
We worked to meet all by ourselves.
Can we hire them for every meeting?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, I would ask that all cell phones please be silenced or turned off. Are we going to do the presentations first?
Yeah, after the update.
Okay. Student representatives?
Hi, my name is Samantha Apgar, and I'm going to be talking about the middle school, high school, and athletics. For our middle school, the middle school students had their kickball rematch tournament where the Chili Cheese Dogs won. The next kickball tournament will be against the staff on the next SEL day, which is this Friday, and the students that participated had a great time. The middle school finished their midterms, and we are officially halfway through the year, and they are now into their Cycle 4 sampler. We would like to recognize our middle school students that participated in the Unity and Bergen Sticker Contest. Their creative artwork embodied what a harmonious, inclusive, and unified Bergen County truly means. We congratulate them not only for their artistic creativity, but more importantly, their true understanding of such a vital theme. Those students are Abigail Beecham, Alexia Cacchiola, Ava Leto, Brooke Raquina, Kate Mauser, Chloe Lozano, Gavin Lula, Jillian Taraj, Miriam Naruzi, Noemi Estramira, Prachi Niga, Sarita Lafala, and congrats again to those students. For the high school, scheduling is officially underway for next year. At the last meeting, 3 new courses were approved: Young Adult Literature, Residential Systems and Design, and Intro to Flight Aircraft Systems and Performance. The school has held meetings with the 8th through 11th graders, and they are now beginning to meet with the students individually. The high school midterms have concluded, and next Thursday on February 16th, there will be an HIB presentation at the high school, which will be hosted by Mr. Osborne. And for athletics, congratulations to senior basketball player Ella Marchesani on being named Saddlebrook High School's National Girls and Women in Sports Day Award winner. Every winter, an outstanding female athlete from each high school is honored in a statewide awards ceremony, where outstanding high school students and college university female athletes are presented with special awards from the National Association for Girls and Women in Sports. Ella will be honored at halftime of a Seton Hall women's basketball game in February. And congratulations to our senior athletes that have committed to play their sport in college. Joella Roscoe will be attending Misericordia University for football, Anthony Coiro, Moravian University for men's lacrosse, Isabella Sarah, William Patterson University for women's soccer, Michael Papagallo, Felician University for men's soccer, and AJ Arroyo, Wilkes University for football. Please continue to support our athletic teams as the NJSIAA playoffs are set to begin, and check out the Saddlebrook High School athletic schedule on the website for games and events.
Now for all 3 elementary schools, the winter concerts were a great success. The students enjoyed World Read Aloud Day. The elementary schools would like to thank all of the administrators and community members who came to the schools to read to the students. They are all looking forward to the 100th day of school, which happens to fall on P.S. I Love You Day. Each school will honor the day with age-appropriate activities. Washington School has had a great time over the past month. On February 1st, in honor of World Read Aloud Day, local author Shannon Cohen visited and read her book, Zepp and the Monday Morning Blues, to her classes. All of the classes were given an autographed copy of the book for their libraries. On February 2nd, Dr. Randazzo met with the afternoon students to talk about dental health. On February 24th, Dr. Arawalda will also be talking about dental health to the morning students. Also on February 24th, the Washington School will be hosting our annual fashion show as a wrap-up for their clothing unit. Students will get to walk the red carpet to show off their looks.
Thank you, girls. Superintendent's report?
Yes. All right, thank you. The Unity and Bergen contest that Sammy was speaking of, that was a county-wide contest, so kudos to our students who were recognized for their artwork. The purpose of the Unity and Bergen County Sticker Contest was to create a sticker. The artwork should represent what it means to be our harmonious, inclusive, unified county and what Unity in Bergen County looks like. So our students did a really fabulous job with being recognized for all of their work there. Okay. P.S. I Love You Day is celebrated the second Friday of every February. So wow, there's so many people here. We will be celebrating Friday, February 10th, where the entire district, staff, and students are invited to wear purple for P.S. I Love You Day. It was actually started by a family in Saddlebrook. And on this day, we ask everyone to wear purple to stand up against bullying, depression, and ultimately to prevent suicide. So we are recognizing it as an SEL day here in Saddlebrook, a social emotional learning day, where we'll have activities with our students, but please remember that everyone's invited to wear purple. I also want to share that for the past several years, our middle school, high school was a targeted school in need from the state, I believe. And we just received a letter, a notification that it is no longer a targeted school in need, that our middle school, high school has achieved the growth that is recognized by the state to be a successful school. So we were really happy to receive that notice. So congratulations to all of our middle school, high school staff and leadership for everything that they've done to promote our students and their academics. Okay, March 14th, we are coming out again for another bond referendum vote. It's Tuesday, March 14th. More information can be found on our website. We are in the process of ordering some flyers and posters and door hangers, and we're really going to be sharing a lot of this information out with our community. And we'll be hosting a virtual forum as well, so please be sure to check your emails for updates. There'll be a lot of information forthcoming, but if you want more information, the information is on our website. There's a referendum link, and it's www.sbpsnj.org/referendum, and you'll be able to access all the factual information about our upcoming referendum. While everyone's here, I will say, with this referendum, what we did was we took what was in the December's vote, and you had to use the same projects. You couldn't change any of those state-approved projects, but we were able to pare it down. We kind of tabled the middle school because that was the big project, and we're going to revisit that. We're not done with that. We're going to come back and revisit that and start up community conversations about the middle school. And the media center at Smith School was unable to be done because the sixth graders are not moving out. So without the sixth graders moving out, there was no new space at Smith School to create a media center. That being said, we are looking right now, literally right now, as we do our budget, to find ways to fix up and renovate the media center at Smith School with our local budget. So we are looking at redoing the piping and the drop ceiling, looking at the floors, and looking at all of that. So our upcoming referendum vote on March 14th is more about the infrastructure of our buildings. So it's going to be the roofing, it's going to be the ceiling, the lights, the flooring, doors, windows, everything that needs to be updated that we would do as a district anyway, but it would take a lot longer. We would do it over the course of many years. Whereas if we go for a bond referendum, you do get state aid. So we are getting 29% state aid, and that way we're able to do it all at once and quicker. Also included with the infrastructure are the security vestibules in each building. Franklin School is the only one that has a complete one. And the turf athletic field and lights. The renovation of Coolidge School, which has gotten back to us, is returned back to us, and also renovating Washington School to make classroom space on the second floor so we can expand our preschool program. We do currently have over 30 students on the wait list for our preschool program, so it would be kind of neat to open up the second floor and be able to have a full early childhood development center over there. Okay. Also, so on March 14th, our substitute service is called ESS through Frontline. They're going to be hosting an informative session on March 14th where they are going to invite community members to come in, anyone that's interested in substitute teaching for the district. And so if you know any subs or any interested people that may be interested in subbing here and there, they will be hosting a session in person here on March 14th where people are able to come in the afternoon, and they will walk them through the hiring process and kind of help them out and give them all the information they need in order to apply. Okay, lots of stuff going on. So we're actually proud to be hosting an AP Social Studies Roundtable section across the county session. We're hosting it tomorrow. And Mrs. DeBonis, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, is leading it. She put it together. She reached out across the county. And we're excited to have AP Social Studies teachers from across the county come together, and they're going to brainstorm ways to improve all the programs. But it's just a way to collaborate and everyone to get together and share ideas. And it's really nice to be able to host sessions like this. And kind of, Saddlebrook is so great because of the location as well. So it's kind of central for everybody. So it's really neat that we're able to do something like that. We're actually also going to be hosting professional development for some of our content area teachers at the middle school, high school, with enhancing their instructional methods using Google Apps for Education. So we actually hired a company. They're going to come, and they're going to help our teachers in certain content areas really grow their Google Apps for Education skill set and be able to utilize those methods more in their instruction. We're really excited about that. And we're looking into the science of reading professional development for our K-2 team. So we're having our initial meeting with our science of reading. I'm totally captivating this right now because you guys are all here, by the way, but this is fun. So I usually don't speak this much. But we are looking to kind of, right now we have our balanced literacy approach at our, in our elementary buildings, and that's been going really well. But we are seeing our need for our youngest students, K-2, to have more phonetic awareness, and give our teachers the same language to use across the board and the supports that they need to support their students in teaching them how to read. Today is National Crossing Guard Day, so if you saw a crossing guard, I hope you thank them. Each school actually tagged the crossing guards that are closest to their buildings, and the students all made cards for them, and they presented each crossing guard with a thank you card for everything that they do, because they're out there through rain and shine, and they help keep our children safe, and really grateful. They're always very cheerful. They're great people, so really excited to be able to honor them. It is National School Crossing Guard Week, so you're not too late. You have the entire week to say thank you to each of them. The DEIA sent out presentation information for our parents. So the DEIA is doing a one pill can kill presentation, and it is very informative. It's really about how anybody, never say never, never say not my child, because you never know, especially with social media and all the access to the internet, to that World Wide Web, what they're really exposed to. So the DEI is doing the presentation with our students this Friday, grades 7 to 12. They're coming here and they're doing a whole presentation on really on fentanyl and different pills that are out there and how to spot like red flags to say. And they're also going to host a parent session. It was supposed to be Thursday. We found out there was a couple community things happening Thursday, so we switched it to February 28th. So they are hosting a session for parents on February 28th. I would love it if everyone was able to attend because it is really informative, and I really feel strongly that the information that they present is really valuable to every family. And with that, we also have Shelley Klein as our district literacy consultant. She's hosting sessions with our K-2 parents and then 3 to 6 parents to support reading instruction at home. So K-2, it's going to be more about the phonics piece. It's going to be more about teaching your child how to read and how to really enhance their reading instruction. So we're doing our part in the school buildings and what you could do at home to support your children and their reading growth at home. So she'll be showing you the way we're teaching them during the school day, and that way you can support that at home. And then with 3 to 6, it's going to be similar, but she's going to go into more of the reading book clubs and the information, the young adult literature, and things that that they sort of encounter as they get older in our reading program. Let's see, you mentioned the kickball game at the middle school, very excited about that. I wanted to let everybody know also that the policy, this might be for later, but I'll say it now. The policy committee meeting, the subcommittee of the board did meet, and you'll see a lot of first readings of policies on the agenda. Just so that everyone's aware, there is talk about the dress code policy, and there is, there's talk about moving into a true dress code policy as opposed to the uniform. So I would just hold off on buying any new uniforms for your children for the spring. Let's see what happens with this. I just wanted to make sure everyone had a heads up because I wouldn't want anyone to go buying uniforms and then having it not be there. And finally, our high school spring musical. It's Oliver, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. That show never disappoints. It's and what they do, what our students do, and the performance that they put out there to everybody is absolutely amazing. It's like a Broadway show. You want to come out and you just want to experience it. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, we are going to have presentations on our Gifted and Talented program, which is why so many of you are here. We have a couple slideshows. We're really excited that this is the best part, is having the students share what they're doing, because it reminds everybody as to why we do what we do every day. I want to thank our teachers. They're here. So some of our Gifted and Talented teachers came out to support their students and show us everything that they're doing with them. And so what we are going to do, Mrs. DeBonis, who oversees our Gifted and Talented program, so our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, she's going to sort of start us off, but I'll need the board members to go back to the chairs because we're going to put on the slideshow. And boys and girls, we're really excited to hear everything that you're doing.
Thank you, Mrs. Violetti. No, I can't go back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole DeBonis. I'm the Director of Curriculum and Instruction for Saddlebrook Schools. I am so excited that there's so many students in the audience tonight, and I cannot wait for you to see the incredible work that they are doing. Mrs. Violetti and I always brainstorm about how we can get our kids the narrative out there of what amazing work is being done in the classroom. So we decided that we would love to invite our students to really share what they are doing. And we decided to kind of start with the Gifted and Talented program. These are really dedicated students and teachers that come in the morning before school even starts. And the parents, I have to thank you for that, for waking up early and getting kids out the door and here. And they are doing some really rigorous, exciting learning in those morning hours. So we have 4 presentations tonight. Not all of our Gifted and Talented teachers and students could be here, but I would love to turn it over to them. So first, I'm going to invite Mrs. DeFace, Ms. Belcito, and Mrs. Borzilleri up to, and our grades 1 and 2 Gifted and Talented students from Franklin.
Okay, grades 1 and 2 students, you can come up now. Here, you can start with the clicker.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Miss Belcito. I'm the Gifted and Talented teacher at Smith School. And Smith friends, wave your hands if you can.
And I'm Miss DeFeese. I'm the Gifted and Talented teacher at Long School. Long School friends, give a wave. And Miss Borzarelli could not be here tonight, so we're presenting on behalf of her as well.
So across the 3 schools, we've been working together to come up with some plans, and we're going to take you through some of the modules that we've been working on. We started our first unit with computer coding. It's been really exciting, great way to start the year. The students, these are some of the topics that we covered, a lot of password safety, debugging code. A lot of what we talked about was also creating a digital footprint online and really showing students at this young age how important it is to be safe on the computer and really think and use our heads when we're searching things. We created commands and used loops and repeated commands to we programmed a game. We learned about binary code. We made some binary bracelets. We used our names to do so. We planned it out. We used beads to represent the different colors of binary code, and we realized that every letter has its own code, and we could make our own messages. And here's another picture of that. And as our final project, the students programmed a game. So we used a game like Angry Birds to start. The students learned how you could actually set up everything that you play in a game, from the keys that you press to the object of the game. They set up how you score points. They planned out their own game. So here's a picture of Miss Borzilari's class planning a game. They had planning sheets, they chose characters, and they decided exactly how their game would be set up. And so this is actually a screenshot of what the code looked like that they were using. So it was all about snapping blocks together to do different things as they played the game.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab the clicker real quick. Okay, so our second unit was changes over time. We're still in the middle of it. So what we're learning about in this unit is what the Earth was like a long time ago, what were dinosaurs like. We've been doing a lot of work with fossils, what can we learn from them, and then what did extinct animals eat and how the Earth has changed from Pangea to what it looks like now. So far, we have learned about types of dinosaurs. We've watched videos and read articles about fossils. We pretended to be archaeologists, and we dug our own fossils out of these dirt eggs that were generously provided by the Board of Ed. We have made our own fossils using model magic and small toys and shells. We began learning about specific dinosaurs, and we've created, as you can see, different research projects on them. So this is an example of us being archaeologists and excavating our dinosaurs out of their tiny little dirt eggs. Very fun, but very messy. This is a picture of the students creating their fossils. You can see we used little dinosaur toys that had come in a kit that, again, the Board of Ed generously purchased for us. These are the final results of some fossils. Some more fossil results. And we're going to share our findings in a minute. But for the rest of the unit, we're going to be learning about Pangea, learning how the Earth has changed over time, and then finally we're going to wrap it up with learning about climate change and how the way we interact with the world is affecting the world we live in today and how we can make our world a better place. So we're going to pass the microphone along the row now, and we're going to let each of our students share a little something about what they've made in our G&T morning classes. So you'll see at Long School we have our fossils and our dinosaur posters, and then at Smith School they've been working on some really cool dioramas.
I'm just going to interrupt really quick, so I probably should have said, we're going to have 4 different presentations on our Gifted and Talented program. So we do ask that you stay for the 4, and then we'll have a break, and you guys can all go home if you wish to do so. We will be taking photos at the end, so at the end of this presentation, we'll take a photo with the teachers. At the next presentation, we'll take a photo, just so that everyone's aware. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so we have our first grader, Marco. So Marco, what dinosaur did you work on?
Triceratops. Triceratops. Triceratops horn can grow bigger than a bowling pin. Triceratops lived in USA and Canada. Triceratops can be many colors.
Great job, Marco. right, and this is another first grader.
Alex. It ran with 2 feet. It was a Pachycephalosaurus. It was a herbivore.
Great job, Alex. And here is one of our second graders.
Gabby. Tylosaurus. T-Rex. T-Rex might have had feathers. It is 40 feet long. It's a meat eater. It loved to eat other dinos.
Good job, Gabby. And here we have
Taya. Tylosaurus. The Tylosaurus was a predator. It lived in the Cretaceous seas. It was 40 feet long, and it was a giant marine reptile.
and we have another second grader.
Connor Kessler, a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The T-Rex lived in Montana. Not just that, it was also one of the last dinosaurs, but it also lived in America. Now they are chickens, maybe. So they are just in disguise, but scientists believe the T-Rex is related to chickens.
And we have another second grader.
Joseph, an iguanodon. An iguanodon is a plant eater. Also, it is the tallest of all time. It walked off 4 legs. It was 50 feet tall. An iguanodon is 130 feet long. Fossils are found in Africa, also America.
We have our first grader.
Adrian. Tylosaurus. The Tylosaurus swam between 87 and 82 million years ago. The Tylosaurus eats meat. The Tylosaurus moves in the water. The Tylosaurus is a predator.
And we have another first grader.
Joseph. A velociraptor. A velociraptor. It lives in the desert. It weighs 33 pounds and 15 kilograms. It has 80 sharp teeth, and it's a predator. Sienna. The Stegosaurus lived in western North America and Europe.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex looked like a chicken, but it has very sharp teeth. And the Tyrannosaurus Rex had 2 fingers and a tail. Edison. The Tyrannosaurus Rex had sharp claws, sharp teeth, a long tail, and short arms.
And I forgot to mention, these are 3 second graders that we have, and now we're going to have 2 of our first graders share their posters.
My name is Carlos, and at T-Rex, their arms are small, although they're very strong. My name is Kiva, and the Apatosaurus weighed 50,000 pounds, and it was 75 feet long.
And now we're going to have 2 of our first graders share some of the facts that we've been learning about fossils.
We used model magic shells. We used tiny dinosaurs to make our fossils. Fossils can teach us about the size of an animal. Fossils can be made from bones, plants, footprints, shells, and teeth.
Fossils are the remains of animals that turn to stone.
All right, thank you, first and second graders. And these last 2 friends who shared were second graders. Can we give them another round of applause for their awesome work?
Okay, fabulous job. First and second graders, we're going to ask that you stand together up here and you hold your projects in front of you so we could take a group photo with your teachers.
And they don't know it yet, but our last cycle, or our last module, is going to be living things.
So while everybody's getting back to their seats, I have to say it's pretty impressive what our first and second graders are learning in Gifted and Talented. It's all about teaching them about inquiry, research, critical thinking, thinking outside the box, and really having them have a passion for the content that they're learning about. So our next group is third and fourth graders. Mrs. Mazzone, I am turning it over
really
to
don't need
you.
this. I truly do not need a microphone. I am that loud. Do I really need a microphone? Can you hear me? Oh, I'm being recorded. Okay. All right. So my group, come stand, please. I am Mrs. Mazzone. I am the current fourth grade teacher at Long Memorial, and I am here with some of my gifted and talented students from the third and fourth grade. Okay? In order. This is long school. He's next. He's next. He's next. Okay, 5. You're in your order. You're in your order. You're in 2. What are you? You're 5. You're over there. Gifted and talented. No, flippy flop. You're there. You're there. Our first unit, we decided, all 3 schools, to study ancient Egypt. I feel like a lot of these ancient civilizations are no longer studied, so we decided to study ancient Egypt. With that in mind, because I thought about mummification and how truly interesting mummification is. What do I? You do. These are just some of the photos. All right, we are rock stars here in Long Memorial and 3rd grade and 4th grade, gifted and talented. If you play it for a moment, you'll hear a song. Right? You can move it to the next one. We study things such as communities, pyramids, pharaohs, beliefs. And the first thing we studied was mummies. You're up, Lisa. All right, Lisa. You're going to read that, and I'm going to get your things.
Okay.
Go ahead. Read. Go ahead, love. Oh, the microphone.
Mummification. We learned the steps of the Egyptians. We learned the steps the Egyptians used to mummify people, specifically pharaohs. We then carved and mummified apples. We used baking soda and salt to pull out the moisture. We left them in an open baggies. Here they are. Wait, can I add something? My apple was I carved my apple into a cat, and then it just started kind of decaying and kind of molding, and then I couldn't see the cat face anymore. Wait, who's
Just showing your mummies. Showing your mummies. I appreciate the parents for allowing them to keep the mummies. I got you. Okay. And now if we can slide. And again, some pictures of the apple before. There is the apple before, and then you just saw the after effects of mummification. Yeah, a little fast. Yeah, a little fast. Okay. Yes, right there. Right there? Mm-hmm. The next slide is fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We learned that the ancient Egyptians were polytheistic. They believed in many gods and goddesses. We were told to choose one to research and create a trading card. Here is one.
This child studied the god Ra, god of sun. And then here is one. I just printed another one out. This was Hathor. And they just all created trading cards based on the god or goddess that they researched. Mm-hmm. Yes, you had something behind you when you were presenting. Yes, you did. Next.
The ancient Egyptians played a game called Senate. It is similar to many modern board games like chess and backgammon.
Yes, we played a game called Senate. If you've ever seen the movie The 10 Commandments, I believe that they are playing that at one point where they have sticks and they roll the dice and then they play Senate. And a lot of modern games are based off Senate, chess, backgammon. Okay, we played it. Well, how was it? Was it easy or just quite difficult? It was difficult. The directions were hard. It was hard. Okay. Go ahead. And next. Mm-hmm. There they are playing it. You read. Go ahead, Elle.
Pyramid challenge. We were presented with a pyramid challenge. It was harder than we thought. I took mine home to work on it over the weekend. There it is.
All right, did she not do a wonderful job or what? And I'll tell you, in class, they did a wonderful job. They did not because we used, you can believe that you did it, right? She did a great job, right?
Just saying, I was surrounded by 3 boys. I was the only girl.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Matt, tell us about this.
Papyrus and hieroglyphics. Since paper was not yet invented, the ancient Egyptians used papyrus leaves to create a writing surface. We made our own version by painting brown paper bags with a mixture of glue and water. Then we wrote our names in hieroglyphics. The symbols of Egypt. Here are some examples. My name is Matthew, so this spells out Matthew.
And he framed it. I'm going to hold it up a little higher for you. All right, Eleanor, tell them what yours says.
Mine says Eleanor, Eva, Hannah, because Eleanor is my first name, Eva is my last name, and Hannah is my last name. Okay, your turn. My name is Jasmook, and this spells out Jasmook, the one on the top. It's a snake. Oh, so this one is mine, and my name is Lisa. Probably no one ever heard of that name because it's really rare. Wait, I have something else. No, I'm not done. And this is how you spell it out in Egyptian. There's a lion, some feather knife-looking thing, some glasses-looking thing, and a bird. That's how you spell it out.
Is there any doubt as to why I would love this, why I love my job so much? All right, let's give a big round of applause to these students. They work really hard at 7:50 Mondays and Tuesdays, coming off of a weekend. They are there at 7:50, and we appreciate all the parents and everything that everyone is doing for us.
That reminds me, just as a reminder, to thank the parents for taking your kids to school so early. All right, we're going to do a photo op, so get together. We're going to do a quick photo.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we have 3rd and 4th graders from Helen Ice Smith School with Mrs. Garfinkel.
I can't either, so thank you. Good evening. My name is Brooke Rutkowski, formerly Brooke Garfinkel. Either is fine. I'm a 4th grade teacher at Helen I. Smith, and I also have the pleasure of acting as the 3rd and 4th grade gifted and talented teacher at Smith School. Thank you for having us this evening to share the work that my students have been engaged in and creating. A few of them were kind enough to join me this evening, though we do have a few that didn't join us tonight. Before we get started, how we often start our mornings together is with a warm-up. So we start with something called three-peat puzzles. And the way that these work is each angle of the triangle has a word in it, and there is a word that goes in the middle that combines all three. I know that my students know what it is. Does anyone think that they know what the answer is that would go in the middle? Yes? So it's a word that brings them all together. What word would go in the middle that all three share? What do you think? What do we think? My third and fourth graders. Oh wait, does a parent think they know? Go ahead. Tail. Tail would go in the middle. So at 7:50 a.m. when we're all still asleep, this is how we warm up our brains. Anyway, I will now hand it over to my third and fourth graders. Luca, you can get us started.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Luca, and I'm in fourth grade. The first unit we did this year was all about ancient Egypt. We learned about all aspects of life in ancient Egypt, and we did many hands-on projects along the way. Some of our favorite activities from this unit are in the slideshow. First, we learned about mummification and created our own mummies with apples, salt, and baking soda. We left the apples in the mixture of salt and baking soda for weeks and observed how the apples slowly mummified. Each time we had class, we also learned about an ancient Egypt game called Senate. We made our own board games and played in teams. Towards the end of the unit, we made our own versions of papyrus scrolls and made about hieroglyphics and wrote our own messages on the scrolls we made.
Hi, my name is Azan, and I am in third grade. Around the holidays, we worked on a project where we brainstormed original toys to create and market. We then created prototypes of our toys using the materials in the slide without spending over $50 on our materials. Before we created our own toys, we learned about the history of other famous toys. For example, did you know that the famous teddy bear was named after the president Roosevelt, and the inventor of Legos was a wood toy maker from Denmark? Some of the original toys and games we created were Ice Monster and My Ramen Noodles, a knockoff of Yeti in My Spaghetti, and the Gamer Koala, who was a stuffed koala complete with video games and pizza.
Hello, my name is Matthew, and I'm in the fourth grade. The current unit we are working on is all about animal adaptations and the creation of our own animals. We have learned about how animals must adapt to their environment and conditions in order to survive. Then we were given the opportunity to create our own animals from already existing animals. We created some pretty wild creations and considered what sort of adaptations our animals would need to survive and thrive. Here are two examples of the animals we have created. Spike, a giraffe, lion, crocodile, and pufferfish. And the kooky monkey, a stork, kookaburra, and a woolly spider monkey. We are all creating posters with our animals and facts about them. Our next step will be creating dioramas of our animals.
habitats as well as our own animals out of clay. We can't wait to share photos and of what we create.
Thank you again for having us and for letting us share our work. Have a lovely evening.
All right, thank you. We have one last presentation. Thank you to our teachers for coming out this evening, as well as our students and our parents. We appreciate it. Okay, Mrs. Johnson's crew.
So this is our middle school grade 7 gifted and talented group.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Miss Johnson, and I am the gifted and talented teacher for 7th grade. I am going to let them take over because you, I'm sure, don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from them. And they've done an amazing job, so I want them to get all the credit.
Good evening, Ms. Violetti, Mr. Bonas, Board of Education members, and our Saddle Brook community. We are the gifted and talented group led by Ms. Johnson. We have been working on our Shark Tank projects where we had to create an invention, research costs, and design a business plan.
Hi Sharks, I am Gavin Eula, and this is Sarita and Michael. We are from Saddlebrook, New Jersey, and our company are seeking $45,000 for 25% of our business. Our jacket is called the Solar Powered Jacket.
Our company name is Solar Co. Our company's jacket is made out of nylon fabric with a waterproofing finish. This includes our flexible solar panels, 3 battery-powered removable heaters, a snap-on hood, and a battery pack that lasts for over 12 hours.
My co-associates and I created this jacket to keep our clients warm while they are working in cold temperatures like garbage workers, mailmen, construction workers, and etc. This jacket can also be used for other outdoor purposes like outdoor games and sporting events.
We are currently working on designing a tiny home and researching costs and locations to build a home. So far, Gifted and Talented has been a really fun experience for my peers and I. We are looking forward to continuing this project and many more to come. Thank you for your time and have a great night.
Great job, guys. Great job.
So again, thank you to the teachers and to the students for coming out tonight, and thank you to the parents for bringing your children here and for bringing them so early in the morning. The other thing I just wanted to note is that on our website, under Department of Curriculum and Instruction, I update all the time the work of the Gifted and Talented program. So on that page, you can see updated photos of what's going on in the classroom. The teachers send me stuff all the time. Projects kids are working on. The photos from tonight I'll put up there as well. So always progress and always trying to show off the incredible things that Saddlebrook is doing in the classroom. So thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you, Mrs. DeBonis, who also attended this evening and worked so hard with our teachers. Thank you to all our teachers and our students that came out. We'll break for 2 minutes so you can gather your belongings and get a good night rest. Thank you.
Lord help me. God, give me strength. Are we ready? All right. I'd like to continue to call this meeting to order. Next, we need the business administrator's report.
Sorry, Ray, it took a while.
It's quite all right, I don't have too much. We start the budget, I think Mr. Accomano might fill you in a little bit on that. The audit is in full swing, and the board members, I just sent you an email this evening. I work with New Jersey school boards, and they were able to update your email addresses for those who have the old saddlebrookschools.org email address, so just look at that email, and you should be able to log in, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. I like that, short and sweet. I'd like a motion to open a meeting to the public for agenda items and policy only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wishing to be heard just on the agenda items and policies? Okay, you have to wait because I have to read the whole paragraph. Residents are requested to state their names, address, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Okay. Now, the meeting is open for agenda items and policies only.
Good evening. Omar Rodriguez, Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Just to clear something, I heard a few comments before. Even if I'm homeless, I can speak up. Even if I don't provide an address and I sleep at the park, I can speak up at the mic. The Constitution of the United States of America allowed me to speak up right here whether I have an address or not.
We've let you speak.
No, but then just to clear what was said last time. By the way, also, if I live in another state, I can speak up, and if I live in another town, I also can speak up. Therefore, that's a non-issue to give a complete address, either for safety or wherever you live. Just to clear that, I just want to touch something right here. Can you just, anyone, explain to me BA420.2? Take your time.
What number? Can you repeat the number, please?
Sure. BA420.7. No? Well, lockdown procedures.
Oh, it's a policy.
Oh, policy? Okay.
Right there. Unless I'm reading in Spanish, it says policy.
You may want to say what part you're speaking about first.
Well, you all go by numbers now. We make it very difficult. I can go back to 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. They used to have a binder, so we, the public, we, the ones that are paying for the school system, have to know actually what this means. No, you cannot. Where is the binder?
Yeah,
Every policy is online.
Oh, I have to go online. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to explain that.
Okay, let him finish and then we'll address it.
No, you can address me. That's fine.
No, policy states you have to state your issues, then we can answer when we're done,
Okay.
if we choose.
You don't have to answer me. What policy? The policy is established by the Board of Ed members. Actually, there's nothing written in the law, and I can know and I can attest, and the attorney or whomever can say no right now. That is wrong. The people that we elect, the taxpayers, are the Board of Ed members. No lawyers, no professionals, nobody can say how this Board of Education meeting is being run. So needless to say, that's why you don't have people coming right here and addressing you, because this is kind of anarchy. Because you don't allow, you don't interact, you just answer things that you want to answer. You don't answer the questions of the people, what the people want to know, and what the people want answers with. But right now, I just want to touch the subject for now. By not having a binder out there, not to see how you write the checks. At the last meeting, I pointed out a one single item, $4 million. You guys are looking and looking. One item, $4 million. How come I cannot see the backup? There should be a backup for me to read and not to come and ask questions right here. This is an open meeting. Or do we want to become just like this recent school district in which an employee from grounds and buildings was promoted to a supervisor, and from an hourly pay was moved to a salary? Guess what? It was paybacks, kickbacks. Superintendent, deputy superintendent, business administrator, and it's related to the school system. Because what is the secret right here? Why not to open the books? What is wrong with the public seeing who is receiving checks? What about if you make mistakes? And by the way, since they don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to just look at my notes and I give you the school district in 2 minutes when I come back at the end. But going back to that, why we, the public, cannot see all the checks who is reading for? The checks are public. This is public information. Everything should be public. You should not be afraid of nothing because you're not doing anything wrong. Or you're going to just force the public to us every month and just pay the minimum fee of just having an opera on the entire agenda. Did I say anything funny, Superintendent?
No, sir.
Oh, because you're smiling, you're laughing. I don't know if I throw a joke that I didn't realize. But anyway, so what I'm trying to look right here is transparency. Transparency. And the last question I have is the budget right here reflecting the $270,000 for the 2 referendums that we are spending? Can someone explain that to me? Seeing none, I'm gonna sit down. I guess you're gonna open again, right? Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I'd like to close the meeting to the public. Motion?
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Moving right along. Board action items. I'd like to move items B 2223.27 to 2223.29. Is there any discussion? A second? Wait, we need a motion first. Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any questions? Roll call?
Ms. Torbeck,
Yes.
Ms. Traverso,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando,
Yes.
Ms. Borelli,
Yes.
Ms. Ianello,
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from B2223.29.
Mr. Laurentino.
Yes to all, but I'm also going to abstain from B2223.29.
Ms. Mahoney.
Yes to all, but in B2223.27, I'm going to abstain from the January 4th meeting minutes, as I was not here.
Mr. Shear.
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli.
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from B2223.29. Mr. Laurentino, Education Curriculum.
Okay, at the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. E2223.38 through E2223.41.
Motion?
Second.
We need a motion
Motion.
first. Oh, he made the motion, sorry. Roll call.
If I may, I'll just share. So the field trips, our teachers did an excellent job of putting in their grade level field trips in such a timely manner that on our field trip list right now, we have our high school musical. They're touring the elementary schools to promote the Oliver show that they're putting on March 10th, the weekend of March 10th. We have our juniors visiting the National College Fair. We have our preschool special education program visiting the public library. And then this year, we're actually having our sixth graders visit the middle school earlier than we usually do. We're doing it in March, and they're going to have the tour of the middle school and meet the teachers and sort of get the layout of the building a little bit earlier than we usually do, which I'm excited about.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Torbic.
Yes.
Ms. Traverso.
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
Ms. Borelli.
Yes.
Ms. Ianello.
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino.
Now, I'm going to vote yes to all, but I'm going to abstain in E2223.38, trip 910.
Ms. Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Shear.
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli.
Yes. Finance, Budget, Facilities, Mr. Accomando.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. F2223.63 to F2223.68.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I'll just share the professional development workshops. We do have a list of teachers that are really wanting to grow and learn in their profession, which I have to commend them for. They really want to learn best practices and really do best by our students. So really excited that there's such a willingness to just grow and develop as educators. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Torbic.
Yes.
Ms. Traverso.
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
Ms. Borelli.
Yes.
Ms. Ianello.
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino.
Yes to all, but I'll abstain in F2223.63, checks 184 and 511.
Oh, I have to do that too. Yeah, I did. If I may, I'm sorry, I have to
Oh, yeah,
abstain
did miss her.
as well.
Check.
I missed my notes. I'm going to abstain in that same one, F2223.63. Check numbers 142 and 470.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Shear.
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli.
Yes. Mrs. Ianello, Policy.
Okay. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. Policy number 0152 through P1648.13.
Second.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Sure. I'll address Mr. Rodriguez's comment from before about regulation 8420.7. So I believe his point was we don't have a binder. We do no longer have binders. I don't know if we did in the past, but we do have them hyperlinked on the agenda. As far as that specific, so these policies and regulations, so the public is aware, they come from Strauss-Esme and they're mandated. So they're mandated by the state. There's some that are recommended and some that are mandated. These, I'm glad you brought this one up because these are really important. So the bomb threats, lockdown procedures, and active shooter. What they did with these was they actually took out all the details that we used to have, and that way it's actually safer because a public person should not be able to read online our exact specific procedures for a lockdown drill. That would not make our students in the safest building. So what they did was they actually made it very general, and they took out all the details that were previously in there for those safety procedures and protocols. So I'm glad you did bring it up because it's a really good point to share with the public that, you know, when it comes to our policies and regulations, it's not typical that board members will just come up with a policy or a regulation that they wish to revise. They're actually recommendations from the state, and many are mandated and many are recommended for good reasons. So that's why you see this was an update alert from Strauss-Esme, and that's why you see all of these here. You'll notice the 2 abolished ones regarding COVID and vaccination requirements, and again, mandated from the state that they're now abolished. So a lot of what we do is mandated by Governor Murphy's office, and we follow what we have to follow.
And if I may, every single policy, whether it was revised or new, has been through Strauss-Esme on this agenda. Now, anyone else? Roll call.
Ms. Torbic?
Yes.
Ms. Traverso?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Shearer?
Yes.
Ms. Zardarelli?
Yes. Negotiations, there is none right now. Mrs. Torbeck, personnel.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. P2223.52 through P2223.59.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
I will share that the PIC Orchestra musicians, I did speak to Mr. Ortega, and I asked him to put on any person that he thought would either serve as the main player or a backup player, and that way they're already board approved, and we don't need to come back and add them to to another agenda.
Great idea.
If I may, on the same subject, I ask this question every year, and I'm going to ask it this year. Do these musicians need to be background checked and fingerprinted?
They are never alone with the children, so no, they are not background or fingerprinted because they are supervised by Mr. Ortega every step. They are not left alone with the children.
Sorry.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Sure. I see that we hired a new buildings and ground guy, but I'd like to once again thank Mr. Soroki for his many years of service here, and I hope he enjoys his retirement. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Soroki's last day with us is the end of this month, and we are sad to see him go. He's definitely dedicated to the district, and he's done a lot of good and made us, where we are today. And so we thank him for his service, and we are welcoming the new supervisor of building and grounds as well.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Well, hopefully he's approved now. Let's see, Ms. Torbic?
Yes.
Ms. Traverso?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Shearer?
Yes.
Ms. Zardarelli?
I'm going to say yes, but in the future, I just wish these musicians were background checked.
We can revisit that. And now I can welcome Mr. O'Donnell as supervisor of building and grounds. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. And, as sad as we are to see Mr. Soroka go, it's the right timing for him and his family. And, we do welcome Mr. O'Donnell, and we're excited to start a new journey.
Okay. Any committee reports? Rich? Mr. Shear, sorry.
Yes, so we met the other day talking about the preliminary budget for next year. Just looking at certain line items and whatnot, but so far, looks pretty good.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions or comments on that? Okay, moving right along. Mr. Accamundo, Finance and Facilities.
Yes, we met on the 24th, and we just went over some bullets of what we're going to go over during our next meeting. But I do believe Ms. Violetti went over some of that stuff already. She talked to the audience earlier about roofs, ceilings, and updating all the schools, actually. So we'll be getting out there soon with some more information.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Again, we have no negotiations. Policy, Mrs. Ianello.
I don't have a report since I wasn't there.
Very true.
So unless, Mr. Karati, do you have anything, or you, or anyone?
I shared a little bit
Okay.
before.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, nothing more than that. Okay, liaison reports. Mr. Accamundo, do you have the special ed, any?
I did speak to Ms. Maniscalco through text, but I did not receive an email. I don't know if it got bounced back to her, but I will have some information on the future of what CPAC is going on, when their meetings are. I do know that she wanted some more involvement, hopefully by the district.
Okay.
So hopefully we can get that figured out.
Okay. We haven't met with the town since the last, right? Okay. PTO, PTA liaisons. I'll go last. Smith School.
I did not get any updates from Smith School at all. I don't know if they had a meeting yet. if they're gonna
Okay,
have one.
that's fine. Long, Mrs.
Yes.
Traverso.
I do have. Okay, Long School had their fourth meeting for this school year just yesterday, as a matter of fact. Let me take a look here. So their past events and fundraisers, they had a Super Bowl popcorn fundraiser, which apparently was very successful. And their upcoming events, they do Mystery Reader, and it is continuing. I believe it will go forward for as long as it can. I believe it's monthly. The LMS PTO will be hosting the Special Guy and Little Lady Dance for the LMS families on February 16th at Biagio's. Upcoming is their Gertrude Hawk Spring fundraiser, which will be, I believe, starting this weekend, and everything will be due by the end of the month on the 27th. They have a new Merch Madness Spiritwear sale via WePrint Marketing. Spiritwear will be available through the LMS or Saddlebrook PTO, Logos will be on these Spiritwears, I apologize. Please consider supporting the PTO by purchasing Spiritwear. Interactive educational game show, Brain Show, sponsored by the LMS PTO, will be taking place on March 6th during school hours. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. Special Lady and Little Guy event will be held on March 31st at Medieval Times. The Bunny Breakfast for LMS families will be held at Applebee's on Sunday, April 2nd. Field Day will be held on June 8th. Yearbook planning and uploading of pictures in the Google Drive is underway. Miss Mansfield discussed the World Read Aloud Day, the P.S. I Love You Day, scheduled for Friday, February 10th, and kindness activities scheduled all this week. Media Center digitization project, thanks to the volunteers, we hope to be done by March. Theater Week, as of now, is April 17th through the 21st. Information will be going out in March, and volunteers will be needed. Crossing Guard Appreciation Day today. Students made thank you cards for all LMS area crossing guards, and their next meeting will be on March 14th.
Thank you. Middle school, high school?
I'm sorry, I did have something, sorry.
All right, go ahead,
Sorry,
Mike.
come on, man. I did get an email from the PTO and from Ms. Wonder about a possible VIP dance. They put out feelers to see how it would go. I believe it is in May. But it's going to be at the Fiesta, so she's going to be emailing some more people, some more parents and stuff to let them know the details, so thank you.
Middle school, high school? High school.
Okay. All right, there was no meeting for the month of February, but I'm just going to review some of the information from January for March. So the next meeting is going to be March 13th at 7:30 via Zoom. There are 5 people seeking board positions, so they'll be voting at that meeting. They have their We Print marketing fundraiser that's still going on, that's ongoing, but you must log in through the PTO link that's found on the website. And I believe Mr. Meisch sends out that link as well weekly in order for the PTO to get any credit. And We Print gives 20% of all sales back to the PTO. So they're really generous and quite wonderful with helping out the schools. That's it.
Okay, for Franklin. Franklin Schools started their Candy Grams Valentine's Day fundraiser. They also started their Gertrude Hawk sale, which will be ongoing. Their grade level fun nights are all in the works. They don't want to give too much away. Their Tricky Tray is scheduled for 5/4. May the force be with you. If you have any donations or baskets or whatever, you can contact Sarah Milnicki. A lot of class trips are being planned, and for those that don't know, the PTO is offsetting the cost of the class trips. The PTO is also sponsoring assemblies for the school upcoming, and the dress down day for 213, which is district-wide, it's $1, and all of the proceeds will go to all the 6th grades for their moving up and graduations. Their next meeting is February 15th.
If I may add to that, I did forget. So the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday is a dress down for a $1 donation for students and staff, and it goes to the graduating class in the building. So it goes to the pre-K 4 class, kindergarten, 6th grade, 8th grade, and 12th grade. So everyone's welcome to dress down the Monday after Super Bowl for a donation.
Thank you. Is there any correspondence? Any old business? Mr. Laurentino?
Now, will we consider the referendum old business or new business?
It's a good question.
No, just, we did have that communications meeting that several of us attended, and part of what we're going to be doing is handing out literature throughout the town, but we're going to be hoofing it a little bit. So I've already reached out to some parent organizations, some coaches, some people in town to help us get that done. I spoke to superintendent. I guess we have our literatures coming sometime soon, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
But if anybody else from the board wants to do some hoofing out there,
Like what we
walking
did? Okay.
door to door, door hangers, flyers, any assistance would be greatly appreciated. I think one of the big things for this one is just talking to people, tell them to get to the poll, whatever they're going to vote, but to vote. We had a low turnout last time. So anybody from the board who wants to be involved in with the hoofing aspect of this and talking, by all means, we'll cover that, I guess, Mr. Superintendent, at the next communications meeting, what specifically we're going to do.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
And the next communications meeting is?
The next communications meeting is Wednesday, February 15th.
I'm sorry, when is it?
Wednesday, February 15th at 5 o'clock.
Okay. Mr. Laurentino, can you guarantee it's going to be 70 degrees that day?
Guarantee you dress warm to be warm. Hey, listen, it's like it's been day.
Today was
Perfect,
beautiful.
wasn't it?
You can walk. Okay. Any other old business? New business?
I have new business.
Go for it.
Okay. I just want to thank our counselors. This is National School Counseling Week. So I think we have some fabulous counselors here, and at least I've experienced the Smith School and the middle school and high school here. I'm sure all of our counselors are great, but I want to thank them for all the work they have done with our students. This has been a very challenging 2 years coming back from the pandemic. So I know that they're probably extremely overwhelmed, but I think they are trying their best and they've done a great job. And, you know, having a daughter here, I know that she knows that she can go to her guidance counselor, and that's a wonderful feeling as a parent knowing that. So thank you very much for all your work.
Thank you, Mrs. Ianello.
I love that you said that. I forgot to mention the counselors. It is National School Counseling Week, and they are amazing. We are so fortunate to have a counselor in every building, but Washington, Ms. Abate does go help out at Washington School. But every K-6 building, our middle school and our high school has 3 counselors. And then we also have a Tier 2 counselor. Ms. O is here as well, and they really just do a fabulous job of communicating with one another and working together. So definitely, it's a tireless job what they do, and they do it very well with a smile on their face always. So thank you to our counselors. Thank you for reminding me.
Thank you, Mrs. Violetti, and thank you all our wonderful counselors. Any other comments? Any other new business? Any other
I
questions?
got one.
Go ahead, Mr. Shear.
I would also like to thank our reading specialists in the district. I was invited to read for World Read Aloud Day, and I was lucky enough to read to my daughter's kindergarten class, and that was fantastic. I came in with 1 book, ended up reading 3. They were a blast. So thank you to Ms. Laub and all the reading specialists in the district for just promoting reading and just doing a wonderful job with that day.
Anyone else?
Yes, actually. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think last week was the Skip Bailey tournament, and our rec, our custodians, everybody did a great job. Mr. Peretti, Mr. Cusmano was here, well run. All the doors were shut, so it was nice. But they did a great job. They cleaned up, they kept track of everybody, and it was an excellent day.
Thank you.
Thank you to them.
I would like to comment on tonight's presentation. I don't know about any other board members, but for me, tonight makes it all worthwhile. This is what I love and why I do what I do. To see all these kids up here, it was just heartwarming, and I thank all the teachers that were involved in that.
Thank you. I forgot to share earlier, we had World Read Aloud Day, and Read Across America Day / Dr. Seuss Day is always on March 2nd. It has been rebranded, so it is an NEA day, and it has been rebranded. So we're going to start moving towards really inviting community members to World Read Aloud Day as opposed to Read Across America Day, because the thought is, how was this explained to me? To celebrate reading every month of the year, not just in 1 month. However, this year they are going to continue with inviting community members into their classrooms to read. And let me say, yeah. So now the NEA is just kind of changing it up to celebrate reading all year long as opposed to the 1 day. So the elementary schools are going to be doing Character Day, where children come to school dressed up as their favorite book character, and they're going to continue with the tradition of having community members come in to read this year, and then moving forward, they're going to phase that out and have it be more World Read Aloud Day as opposed to the Read Across America Day. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'd like to make a motion to open the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wishing to speak, please go up to the podium. Seeing none?
I think you don't.
Omar Rodriguez. Maybe I'm blind on hold. You mentioned something about on hyperlink. Where? Where is it?
You say all your comments, and then at the end, I will address them all.
Oh, because I was just looking all over the paper where I can't find it.
Okay.
Anyway, excuse me? Oh, not here, okay.
Vic?
It should be just, be
Vic?
somewhere, so everybody will have to bring their laptops when they come to these kind of meetings.
You can do it on your
I don't know what's gonna happen
phone.
with the senior citizens. Board goals says, number 1, increase the visibility of Board of Ed members by attending more schools and community events. I believe that everything starts at home. It's funny, if one of you guys sit down over there and just listen to what you approve, what you vote, B, 2, C, 4, 5, C, and this, imagine what the people can understand at home. You're gonna have to make it more interactive. If you see what you're spending, almost $4 million per month. $4 million. That's a lot of money. And by the way, it's Hillsborough Township. I promise to bring back the name of the school. All of you can look at it and take it as an experience. And I hope that this doesn't happen here, but then maybe not on purpose, but if the public don't have two sets of eyes on the reports, maybe you're paying in double or on purpose, receiving some kickbacks. Because this employee received $137,000 in overtime, which he got to pay kickbacks to the superintendent, to the assistant superintendent, to the business administrator, and it was a whole thing. And before they get arrested, they just resign, but they're going to go to jail. And I hope that this doesn't happen here in the name of transparency. Everything should be open. All the checks that are being written, what are you afraid of? You guys are playing a key role in the community, and I know that nothing is happening or nothing wrong, hopefully, but let the people examine those papers. Don't be afraid. But just sit one day right here and see how you sound on just numbers. It sounds like a different language. By the way, the name, the employee's name, Anthony DeLuca, Hillsborough Township. It just happened, just now. 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. That's scary. That's scary. Anyways, Washington School. We're talking about referendum. I know that the deadline to take advantage of some of the grants, or some of the pot that the state has, is going to be due pretty soon. So the question is that you should start already thinking on what's going to happen if it doesn't go through. You got to start thinking out of the box. There's a lot of ideas, but you're going to have to come together. Me, I'm not part of the board, just sitting. Just come to my mind pretty good ideas, but I'm not you, you're not me. But why not just start thinking a little ahead of time and just thinking about the properties? If you need a middle school, I don't know how to retrofit Washington School. There are the properties that can be sold in order to repair the middle school. Why not to think about bringing a partnership with a private company to put turf field? It is happening. It's very often now. What about shared services? We're going to have to start thinking out of the box. We cannot just live in the same bubble of 40 years ago. Just every time there is a need for money, just go to the taxpayers. As you could see in the last referendum, it was a disaster. Not even close. God forbid. 2-1. Shame. Shame. Spending $135,000 when you actually just put in on the budget $200,000 for repairs. Instead of putting $350,000, you just lost $135,000. Now this time around is another $135,000 that most likely will go down the garbage, or maybe more, I don't know. So it's time to start thinking out of the box. And well, you guys don't answer, but I would like to know if there's salary caps on the officers, high-ranking officers, or it's just a Pandora box open to any number. I don't know. I'm just business administrator, superintendent, administration. I don't know if we have salary caps. That's one thing to start thinking about that, because it should be a ceiling. The sky is not the limit. Start doing things different, because as you can see, a lot of things are going down on the world, and especially in summertime, everybody will have to tie their belts. Everybody. starting from Wall Street all the way to China and everyone. It's going to be big, this recession. So we're going to have to start educating our kids, but you're also going to have to start thinking outside the box. Any developments on what I mentioned at the last meeting on showing your meetings on Saddlebrook TV? Any developments? I don't know, I haven't heard anything, but you guys don't say nothing anyway. So I keep on trying.
You weren't here.
There is the property on Saddle River Road. It's a big piece of land. Can you imagine in today's market how much that piece of land can cost? If it's not going to be a use for the Board of Education, why not to think on selling it and use that into repair right here this middle school, or use those monies and retrofit Washington School for middle school. Well, it's a middle school, I'd rather say. And I just want to close. I don't want to take much time because you guys don't say nothing. I can't get no much here. On March 14th, for your referendum, when you come with your paraphernalia and this company that you guys have hired, all I hope is that you just say the truth. And the truth is that it's not going to be negative, that it's not going to cost the taxpayers. Yes, there is a cost. That's taxpayers' money. That's the reason why you guys are going to a referendum. You can sell it any way, shape, or form you want it, but at the end of the day, the only reason why you're going on March 14th for a bond referendum is because you're going to the taxpayers and asking them for money. So I hope not to hear that word again, that it's not going to cost us anything, that actually we're saving money. It is impossible. Please do not insult my intelligence. Thank you all for listening. Have a good night.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing no one, I'd like to close the meeting to the public. Mr. Rodriguez, if you'd like to stay, we'll address your questions.
Because you want.
Shh.
You're right.
Okay. Mr. Rodriguez, we're closing the meeting to the public. We're going to close the meeting, period.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I just want to make it clear what was some of the statements that were said. So Hillsborough Township, I Googled it while Mr. Rodriguez was speaking. There was an incident, the headline, former Hillsborough School District Buildings and Grounds Director admits to paying kickbacks for fraudulent overtime payments. I'm just not really quite sure as to what that has to do with our district. Everywhere in every district, anywhere in the world, things can happen. So that was a random comment that has zero relation to anything happening in our district at this time. Some of the things that were said, I think people, and I don't know how things were done before me, to be honest. I don't know how things were done 20 years ago. But what we're doing here is we follow the New Jersey Administrative Code. And this is how we are told to run our meetings, and we follow the law, and this is how we run our meetings. And he's right. We cannot live in the same bubble as 40 years ago. Times have changed. Policies are hyperlinked on the agenda, and we don't have binders. He said start educating our kids and start thinking outside the box. I do take insult to that. We are educating our kids. We're doing a great job in this district every day for that. Developments and showing our meetings on Saddlebrook TV. We have our meetings live streamed. They are on YouTube. Anyone can look at them at any time. The township's welcome to air them on the TV if they choose to do so. But we have a YouTube channel, and they're for public viewing at any time. the bond referendum and how it works. So, I mean, we've been explaining this, and there's a video on the bond referendum website that everyone's welcome to go see. It's sort of like a swap, where our bonds from 2003 maybe, or 2004, they're running out, the 20-year bonds of 2003, and it's sort of swapping for a new bond. And yes, I mean, no one can sit here and say taxes are going to go down. We all know that that really wouldn't happen. But what we are saying is the amount of funds that taxpayers are paying towards school debt is going down. And with that, we're able to capitalize on the state aid that we're receiving for these repairs, all these infrastructure repairs and building items, and we're able to get all of this with the state aid, whereas we wouldn't be able to have that without the bond referendum. So if the bond referendum does not pass, then yes, we do still have to do all of these building infrastructure repairs, and it's just going to take a lot longer, and it's going to cost the taxpayers that much more as prices increase throughout the years. No one's falsifying that information. No one's sharing anything other than that. Those are the facts. You're always welcome to come reach out. You're always welcome to inquire further. We will gladly sit down with any community member that wants to know more information, that wants clarification. I do ask that you don't go to social media for your information and just come to us. Someone emails me, I respond within 24 hours. Come to us, let us be able to give you the facts. You know, and I want to point out, so Mr. Rodriguez made it a point to talk about the board goals, and I'll share the board goals. Increase the visibility of Board of Ed members by attending more school and community events, and increase the number of presentations at Board of Ed meetings by students and staff. And I will have to say that the people sitting at this table that I am surrounded by, they are achieving those goals. They are doing exactly what they were voted to do and what they were elected to do by the community members of Saddlebrook. And you elected them. You should be very proud of the job that they are doing. They are not getting a hefty paycheck for sitting here, and they are doing it with a smile. They inquire. They want to know more about our education system here and what we're doing. And they have their goals. They're working towards their goals. They're dedicated to our school district. And I just think that they just deserve a thank you for their time.
Thank you.
That's it.
Mrs. Crowdy, you want to address anything?
Sure. Let's see, where do I start? Since Mr. Rodriguez doesn't stay for the answers, and that he states he's homeless, I believe you can go across the street to the Free Public Library and get on a computer there and pull up our agenda on the Saddlebrook website. We can give you the address next time you're here. All the policies are linked. Everything is on there. And
You can also
You can
pull
al-
them up on your smartphone, just saying.
And you could also go to under the Business Office Department, see every audit report there. The district gets audited every year, which I just stated before we're going through again. They go through all our expenses, all the bills, and produce that report. Every district in New Jersey has that report. They're all on the website, and also the budgets are on the website as well. So if you have the time, please go and check it all. There is nothing, I mean, nothing to hide. Most of our budget.
24 hours, 48 hours?
What's that?
They're posted 48 hours before the Board of Ed.
The agendas, right? When are they
Yeah,
posted?
about 2 days before.
Thank you. You can read it before you come here and have notes, correct?
Correct. You could read the
Thank
agenda
you.
before, it's out there.
With the hyperlinks.
Right, the budgets and audits are out there, and the bill list has never been, I said, I've been here 16 years, we've never put the bill list out to the public. The public is welcome to open it. I don't believe any district in New Jersey puts out a bill list to the public. As far as a referendum, please, don't listen what's set up here or what's on social media. Please email the referendum. What's the address again? I don't email it, so. Referendum 2023?
That's it. SBPS.
Referendum 2023. Or call us, make an appointment, come down, we will discuss it with you. We have been telling the truth from day one. The expenses, you know, this isn't doing your roof in your house would cost $15,000, $20,000. You're talking sections of roofs at every building, $500,000. We had our first budget meeting the other day. not that I want to start throwing out numbers now, but we're still waiting for state aid. But we're like $600,000 over cap without any capital projects in the budget. So how do you fit in a $500,000 roof, one, when we have to cut the budget to get in their cap? We do not want to cut staff. We do not want to cut programs. It's impossible to do. The legislators put a cap on the tax levy at 2%. We are getting a little more state aid, which has been helping, but there is no wiggle room in the budget to budget for these large capital projects. We do not have an avenue to budget for. The right way to do it is if we had sufficient funds and revenues, you would budget to put into your capital reserve account. Save that money so when the project comes due, you do it. You have the money and you do it. We're not even close to that. We can't even budget for a capital project, let alone put a deposit in the account. So again, all the reports are on the website. You can go look at them. The state says they're user-friendly. You can always call me if you like, but I'm telling you right now, there is no money, and we need to do these things. I think we're one of 4 or 5 districts going to go again in March, Bergen County. There's other ones in the state that keep asking these questions because there's really not any other avenues for the district to do this. I mean, you could go, and we do work when we get some grants, but they're not a lot of money. We're talking millions of dollars. We got $14 million on the table that we're asking the voters. You're not going to get that all in grants. And again, we're going to lose the state aid, and we still have to do our projects. If it goes down, we're going to have to do the projects, and the residents are going to have to pay 100% in our budget to do these projects. So why not get the money from the state? But please, I'm not telling people how to vote. Please, just get informed. We have everything on the website. Call us, email us. We will give you the answers.
Thank you.
Through the chair, I just got 2 things. He was saying that we spent a lot of money on the cost of the election, to have the election. It's the same way to compare if you go to an architect and you're having work done on your house, and the architect paperwork doesn't conform to what you want. If you want to change, you got to pay another price. Unfortunately, that's what happened with us. We didn't get the results we wanted in our election, so we have to go back out again and do it again. And on the second thing, there's not one person on this board that's not transparent, from Mr. Scheer, Mr. Laurentino, Ms. Mahoney, Mr. Traverso, Ms. Ottarelli, Cianello, Ms. Torbic, myself, Mr. Barali, and even our reps. They're very transparent about what they're saying, what they're doing, what they want. We live in this town. We're not going to say anything that's not true or try to push you to believe something that's not true. We just want what's best for our kids and the community. That's it. That's why we're here. You know, if we're not here for the kids, then what are we here for? And I believe everybody up here is for the right reasons. And again, like what Ray said, everybody, don't believe what you hear people talk up here or social media. That's just marble throwers. So, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Accomando.
Through the
Anyone
chair.
else?
Me? Through the chair.
Mrs. Torbeck?
Mr. Accomando touched on a few things I wanted to say, but no, that's okay. But I just want to say that there was something that was said tonight about that we don't think out of the box, and apparently there's someone else who can think better than us. But, you know, we don't think we're perfect. None of us think that. And we try to work as a team as much as possible on everything. We have committees for everything, and we meet on many other nights other than tonight, and we sit down and we throw things around. What if we do it this way? What if we do it that way? We crunch the numbers. We don't just go, let's do it like this and give it to you guys. I don't think that everybody understands how much work goes behind the things we come and present to you. We don't do that casually. We don't always agree, but we'll sit down and we'll hash it out, and we figure out the best thing that we think to present to you guys. What we think is best for your children, our children, what's best for the schools. And it's a little heartbreaking almost to hear someone come up and talk to us that way, that we don't do our jobs. And we do it, you know, because we want to be here, because this is what we want to do. We're not making tons of money. We're not, you know, we're not making any money. You know, I mean, so I had to get that off my chest. So I appreciate everyone listening to me. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'm not going to say a word.
Really?
Yep. You guys have said it all.
No.
Yep. Okay, can I have a motion to go into closed session.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Whereas the Board of Education must discuss matters which are not appropriate for discussion in a public meeting, and whereas these subjects are within the exceptions to the Open Public Meetings Act and are permitted to be discussed in closed session pursuant to NJSA 10-4-12B, and whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss matters as follow. NJSA 10-4-12-3, HIB case number SB Saddlebrook Middle School 0113-23001. Whereas the length of the closed session is estimated to be, I'm going to say 5 minutes, no, 15 minutes. Okay, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and action will not be taken. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education will recess into closed session for only the aforesaid subject, and be it further resolved that the Board of Education hereby declares that its discussion of the aforesaid subject will be made public at a time when the public's interest in disclosure is greater than any privacy or governmental interest being protected from disclosure in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Thank you all for coming. Have a great Valentine's Day, and we'll see you